Do you believe God is a perfect God?
Yeah.
And do you believe that all that he does is perfect and good?
Yeah.
Then why would he do this to you?
Because it is perfect and good.
It's
because
not.
Yes, of course it is. Transgender is perfectly perfect and good. And in fact, God wouldn't have even taken it this far to where you could transition and you could do all these amazing things.
Your father, the devil, did that.
Jesse Lee Peterson goes off on this transgender for his insane comments about God and religion in this clip as Jesse Lee Peterson grills this person about how faith would have helped and protected him, while this person has some ridiculous responses proving Jesse Lee Peterson's exact point. Let's get in.
So you're not normal. I mean, being a transgender, a man dressing in women's clothes and like this, and women dressing in men's clothes is not a normal thing. It's due to a trauma. You know, something's happened along the way and you overreact it and you become like what you overreact to. It's not like normal for a man to dress like a woman or feel that way, or a woman to dress and feel like a man.
That's your perception and your analysis. If you should, and I prayed before this interview that maybe you would open my mind a little bit and maybe I would open yours.
Right.
So if God is listening, I hope God will enter your heart right now and just open it up a little bit to maybe feel what it's like to be in my shoes instead of just looking at it from your shoes, because you were born comfortable the way you are. So you don't know what that feels like. So to just say that this is just a feeling and it's not the real thing is not really fair, because you didn't go through it. So you don't know.
But it's not the real thing. I mean, I understand the trauma, but
there ain't no trauma. What's the trauma?
I'll tell you what the trauma is in a minute. But it's not normal. It's not the real thing. But in your mind, it may seem to be real because of, the trauma. Maybe you're too close to your mother, or you resented your father, and you.
I love my parents. I don't have no resentment.
Were you molested or anything as a child?
No.
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 So was your mother an angry woman while she was pregnant with you?
No. They were. My parents are the epitome of the perfect nuclear family. Like, my dad was a working dad. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was a very strong and wonderful man. My dad is an educated. He's PhD. He's engineer. I don't know what this trauma that you're looking for or whatever is your explanation. That's what I'm trying to, you came up with this equation, like trauma equals transgender.
Right.
And I'm trying to tell you, and I hope I can open your heart to see that that's not what it is. It's just the way that, just like you have dark hair, I'm transgender. Just like, you have brown eyes, it's not even a big deal.
But I don't feel my hair and eyes. I'm not feeling anything about it. But let me ask,
you would be feeling something about it if the rest of society, if there wasn't one other person on earth with dark hair and dark eyes. In other words, if you were the minority, because transgender, we are the minority, but it doesn't mean it's not normal. You know what I mean? So it's just like an albino person, right? Might feel something about their albinoness because they stand out.
But you know why they feel that way, right? Because society will tease them about it, or whatever they do. That person would become angry about it, being treated that way. And the moment you become angry about it, it awakens something inside of you, those emotions, because in that very moment that you become angry, you're traumatized. And so it awakens those emotions, and now you don't feel like yourself anymore. You feel like a transgender.
I disagree.
No, that's what caused it.
I disagree.
But
what
if someone teased them
God made me this way and loves me this way, and it's a miracle.
Why do you
everybody who's watching who is a transgender or is a gay person, don't ever think that it's caused by nothing but nature and God loves you.
So you think God made you a male, and he would confuse you like that to make you think you're a female?
No, see, God didn't confuse me. What confused me was my parents and everybody else telling me that there's something wrong with me, and even, you know what I mean, and that, or it doesn't confuse me now because I know who I am. But you telling people that trauma caused this, that's what confuses people.
Right.
But the feelings that people have are who they are.
Do
I
you-
mean, nobody just, no. Also, Jesse, let me just, one more thing. I hope, pray that this helps you understand. Would somebody really go against everything that you call normal, like all this society, the way people dress, the way people are, husband, wife, the way things are? Would somebody who's growing up and trying to fit in the world really go against all that if it wasn't really the truth of who they were?
They would not. They wouldn't go through all that if they knew the truth of what it was. And the reason that they're going through it is because they have not overcome the trauma. And so and in that fallen state, and you do believe that human beings are in a fallen state until they overcome that, right?
No.
You don't believe human beings are in a fallen state?
No. In fact, I think the world is getting better. And the Dalai Lama, when Piers Morgan interviewed him, he asked him, what do you think of the world? Is it getting better? And he said, yes. And the reason is because when you look at the world history, we haven't had a World War III since World War II. There hasn't been a mass genocide. So I think actually a smaller, I do believe some people are in a fallen state.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, hello.
That's
You know,
I think Jesse Lee Peterson absolutely has a point about the trauma, but I'm just going to pick on two things that I caught out of all of this absurd nonsense this person just had to utter. The first of one saying is that the way that you feel is what you are. No. Like, if I feel like a penguin, I'm not a penguin. If I feel like a woman, I'm not a woman. If I feel like a 4-second 40-yard dash running fullback, no, that doesn't make me, no, that's not how any of this works in the real world. So that's already just verbally madness, like right off the bat. And then secondly, you're going to base the world being better on the Dalai Lama? Like, really? Like, you don't want to look around. You want to say, oh, well, we haven't had a world war since the last one, so things are getting better. No, it's just a matter of time until you do have the one. Like, it's starting to look like it's starting to happen right now. Like, this person is not paying attention to anything going on in the real world. And like he even said, he just lives in his own emotions. He feels, therefore he is. This is a sickness, in my opinion, folks. But let me know in the comments what you think and hit that like button. Let's get back in.
Huh?
He's not now.
What
He's
you
not
mean?
in a fallen state now. He's risen above it. That's why the children of the lie are afraid of him. But let me ask, but you make a good point. In whatever happened to you, the trauma that
I
happened.
can't even come on that. Go ahead. The trauma. Uh-huh.
The trauma that happened to you caused you to believe that that's who you really are. And because no one at an early age showed you how to overcome that trauma, you grew in that. And then it convinced you that you're not a male, you're a female. And that's why you're going through it. Even with the teething and the stuff that you had to go through, I'm sure, you didn't like that either. You overreacted. The more you overreact to things, you become like what you're overreacting to. Now, had your parents had to know how to tell you, look, son, whatever happened, you have to forgive. Don't hold on to it. That identity would have been taken away from you, that spirit, and then you would have had your boy spirit back.
Let's do this right now, Jesse. Since that's the problem, since that's my problem, right?
And not just you, all the men.
Tell me what this trauma is so I can overcome it, and let's see if I still want to put this dress on. Let's ask God right now, overcome my trauma, Lord. And I bet you, not even I bet you, I just asked for it. Let's see. Jesus, Lord, I love you. I believe you. Thank you for everything. Please overcome my trauma so I can stop being a transgender.
You're playing with him now. He's not going to do anything like that.
I still feel the way I did.
So let me ask, if you were serious about it, he would help you overcome.
Of course I am. I asked God. See, that's the thing. You don't know how many times, not just me, but millions of transgender people laid in their bed at night, looking at their ceiling, saying, please, God, please change me.
I counsel with people like that. I know what you mean.
So I did that. All my life I did that until I finally learned and knew God opened my heart, just like I want to open yours, to let me know that I'm okay. I made you this way, and
He didn't make you that way. Let me ask you, the one thing you did not do in all your praying and all your pleading and all your asking God, the one thing you did not do, forgive whomever did this to you. Whomever caused the trauma, you did not forgive, and that's why you didn't overcome that spirit that made a home in you.
I live by the motto of forgiveness.
At that time, you didn't know.
I do now, and I did. You're right. I learned that I don't want to just become argumentative because I
Right.
want to listen to what you're saying
Yeah.
and respond to truth.
Right.
And the truth is, you're right. In my young life, I didn't just forgive everything and
That's
all this
right.
stuff. But as
And
an
that's
adult,
why-
I've learned and I've grown, especially in my faith, in my spirituality, I have grown and learned to forgive. And I immediately forgive people now. I never hold on to
Right.
anything. You
But
know
I
what I mean?
want to guarantee you, without a doubt, has someone come along while you were younger and people were teasing you, you were going through this, you were embarrassed, and they had a conversation with you, found out what the problem was, and told you, you know what, no big deal, forgive them. And then God would have forgiven you for being angry at them, and He would have taken that thing away from you. Then you would have grown up as a man.
I want to guarantee you that would have confused me further
No, it would have
and
freed
kept
you
me
up.
further from being happy, and honestly kept me more in a prison than ever.
No, you believe that, but that's not true. Do you believe God is a perfect God?
Yeah.
And
I
do you believe that all that He does is perfect and good?
Yeah.
Then why would He do this to you?
Because it is perfect and good.
It's
because
not.
yes, of course it is. Transgender is perfectly perfect and good. And in fact, God wouldn't have even taken it this far to where you could transition and you could do all
God
these
didn't do
amazing
that.
things.
Your father,
he
the
did.
devil, did that.
my father. That ain't my father. I
Well-
can tell you that right now. That's the one religion I am not down for is the Satanism. I'm not.
Well, I
with the
thought you
evil.
accepted all religion.
I accept everything good, but
why not?
Satanism to me is evil.
Jesse Lee Peterson makes another good point in that it's not God that did this to him. It has to be the father, because this person seems like they have a great relationship with the mom and the dad. Okay. So if that's the case, if it's a great relationship, they're accepting, then the father, by virtue of that, must also probably more likely than not be okay with the idea of if you feel a certain way, you are. Like he has to be agreeing or like comfortable with these ideas that this person is uttering. If the relationship is so cozy and everything was great and you got a strong bond and whatever, there's no pushback against any of this, right? There doesn't seem to be any pushback from the dad against anything this person ever tried to do, saying like what Jesse Lee Peterson brings up is like, hey, don't do this. Hey, this is just a different problem. This is what this is. He just went along with it. He allowed all of this to happen to this person. And now they're here thinking transgender is good and great and God is transgender and all this because the father allowed it. That's the way that's my take on it, folks. Put down in the comments what you think. But listen to what this guy says, and from Jesse Lee Peterson's questions, that's what I'm getting out of this, is that this person thinks that transgenderism is perfectly okay and great because their relationship was still good with the father because he, by virtue, either allowed or condoned all of this behavior. So if there's no pushback, why would this be bad? So it's the family. It's the family that allowed this person to live the way they are. And to what end? Like, this isn't good for them, for finding a mate, a marriage, society. Like, this has no good end for us, folks. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Jesse Lee Peterson had to say to this transgender person for his insane comments. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.